there is the dynamic between netzach and its counterpart, hod. Forward drive versus restraint, expansion versus limitation. Without resistance, netzach has nothing to overcome, no vessel to give it form. Strength without opposition dissolves into nothing, so the adversary is not against you, but for you, just in a concealed form. This is already encoded in the story of Exodus. Mitzrayim is not just slavery, it's constriction. The living is not an escape into perfection, it is an entry into wilderness. And the wilderness is not a mistake, it is necessary space where people is formed through tension, hunger, mime, doubt, מלחמה, revelation. Without that there is no Sinai. People seeking a perfect boss, job, spouse or state is almost a modern form of idolatry, an attempt to freeze reality into comfort. But reality is built on opposites. Existence depends on hitkashrut through contrast. Light is only light because there is concealment. Even the idea of redemption, Geulah, is often misunderstood. If redemption meant the removal of all tension, then yes, it would resemble an end and not a fulfillment. Because life, as we experience it, depends on movement. And movement depends on lack, friction, ratzon unmet. A world with no resistance would not be perfect, it would be static and therefore lifeless. But there is a subtle refinement here. It's not that the current state is ideal in the sense that suffering itself is the goal. Rather, the current state is perfectly structured for growth. The imperfection is the mechanism, the tension is calibrated. That's why one can say Baruch Hashem not for the pain itself, but for the derech, the path it opens. The Exodus is not the end, it is the beginning of responsibility. Freedom is not comfort, it is exposure. Once you leave Mitzrayim, you can no longer blame Pharaoh. Now the real avodah begins. So yes, resistance is not an interruption of life, it is life. But not all resistance is meant to be fought the same way. Some resistance is to be overcome, some is to be accepted and integrated. And wisdom is knowing which is which. That discernment, that's where the real avodah begins. Chag Sameach.